Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Merry Christmas Eve.
It's Trenchmas Eve.
Merry Trenchmas Eve.
Trenchmas Eve. I made it funny. It's Trenchmas Eve.
Hello, Ghost Hunter.
They built a monument to her name.
Jade, sarcastic grandpa,
What's going on, everybody?
Licker, Chuck,
How we doing?
hanging out with us on Christmas Eve.
On a dose day. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. For those of you that are skipping work or watching at work, hope you're doing well.
Not Alpharus.
Hey, somebody likes us.
Alpharus. Not Alpharus. Hello. Wad Tomato. Derelictor. Whiskey. Got the whole gang.
The whole gang?
Whole gang. Death from Impulsor. Just grumpy enough.
What?
Yeah.
Just grumpy?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, wait, what's this one? Mechanized Imposter.
What?
With that dark blue name I can't read.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Chuck
Happy
said,
holidays.
It's a great day. Found the 100mm Timberwolf model out in the wild.
What?
Is that a Christmas gift to yourself there, Chuck?
What?
Or are you going to wrap that one up and give it to Jade?
I have one. Oh, Jade.
Jade.
Oh, I thought he was giving it to me.
No. Also rode your bike 100 kilometers. That's a far, far distance.
That feels like a far distance,
I
yes.
don't even know how many miles that is, but it's a lot. Like
100?
more than that.
No, how many kilometers was it?
100 kilometers.
Is 60 miles.
60 miles?
Yeah. Kilometer is 6/10 of a mile.
Oh, that's a lot of math.
It's a lot of math.
Naughty children don't get coal on Trenchmas Eve. They get sent to the front lines with a grenade.
Heck yeah, baby.
62 miles. For the Mead Man.
62 miles. Those are rookie numbers, Chuck.
Metric kind of day. Don't say that.
Well,
he's gonna
he
ask
proved
you
it.
how
He said
many-
there was a guy in the Netherlands that did like 10,000.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So rookie. Get on Netherland level. Mr. Netherlander level.
Nice warm up.
One
Tomato won a raffle. That's awesome. From the Mental Health Charity Painters, got a couple of little trench warfare bunnies from Limbo Division 209.
Trench warfare bunnies? What does this mean?
I mean, I'm imagining tiny little rabbits.
Oh, I was thinking like playmates.
Oh. The annual Festive 500. Got to get 500 kilometers between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Well, I mean, you're already 1/5 of the way there. That's easy.
Geez, that's a lot of kilometers. That's a lot of KMs, dude.
A lot of KMs. They give you a week. That seems doable. You've already knocked out 100. 4 more days.
I need you to call them back and say until they have it listed in freedom units, you're not taking part. I demand all of my bicycling be in freedom units.
They're rabbits, but in World War I garb.
That's awesome. That really intrigues me.
Paintlicker said you're thinking of the pinup bunnies.
Like Watership Down kind of rabbits? Like are they brutal or are they cute?
Well, let's Google them. They're called Trench Warfare Bunnies Limbo Division. See what that gives us.
Because I'm envisioning like really cool Watership Down beat up rabbits. Oh, they're kind of cute.
Yeah. Those are fun.
Those are neat. Those are like Percival style. You could do something with that.
Yeah. Look at this one. Got an eye patch and a bandana.
You could work with that. Those are cool.
Those are fun. All right. That's a good price.
How we doing, chat?
Oh, Watt said, given a lot of what Limbo Division 209 makes, Playmates wouldn't be too surprising.
Are
Limbo
they?
Division 209, is that like the brand? Or like the...
I never heard of them.
Yeah.
Don't know them.
Anakin Skyhumper said, 'twas the night before Trenchmas, and all through the trench. Not a creature was stirring, not even a heretic.
Not even what?
A heretic.
A heretic. No heretics are stirring. The trench rot was hung by the chimney with care.
Not, why is this hard for me? Not Alfarius. Not Alpha. I'm going to go with that. Just got the trench bunnies? Is that what you're saying? That's awesome.
Yeah, those are cool.
And Mo, hello.
I would paint trench bunnies.
I would paint trench bunnies, but I don't ever have time to paint. I have a lot of things that I want to paint.
You should make time to paint.
No, haven't figured out how to add more hours to my day.
It's easy. I'll loan you the little doohickey.
Kruger, we're doing great. How are you?
It's a good Tuesday.
We're getting things wrapped up here before the big holiday tomorrow.
Some Christmas time for the gang. And we're back at it. No rest for the weary.
Nope. Right back here on Thursday.
Huzzah! I'll just throw back my legs and pollute my breeches with delight.
Attacks Frost. Oh, gifted a sub. Thank you for that gifted sub. Attacks Frost.
Thank you. Everybody is going to have some good R&R over the next couple days, into the weekend, if you've got that time.
Did we destroy our cookies already? My mom is asking if you like... Oh, I am Mortal Kombat.
I am Mortal Kombat brought the cookies.
Oh, they're so good. Those little almondy ones.
She likes yours.
Holy
That's
cow.
the ones he said were his favorite.
Those are really good. I'm a big fan of almond paste, so delish. Did another user with the name iGrain contact you? Some scammer created the name with a small L instead of I. I don't believe so.
What is it now?
iGrain won a prize in the giveaway last week.
Oh, I don't know.
We haven't sent anything out yet just because of the holiday. USPS right now is slammed. So we're kind of waiting until next week to get those orders in and shipped out. So for those of you who won stuff, we'll get it to you ASAP. We just don't want it to get lost or stuck somewhere with all the crazy shipping and stuff that's happening right now. So, and Attacks Frost, you guys are in Germany, I believe. So I already have that address information. The majority of the, right? Am I thinking right? Attack Frost, that it's the mega set? That's mostly going to come from PK Pro.
I signed the pallet today.
Yep. Sitting on my desk. Kruger, you just opened your Christmas gifts. Awesome.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Chuck said, so after they hit the FLGS, they ran into the local super big grocery store. Not the best decision of the week.
Ha.
Sounds terrible.
Jen's doing that after work today.
I got to do it today because I didn't do it yesterday. You're in Germany. It was mixed. Okay. I'm all thinking it correct. What did I get for Jason? So Jason and I give gifts to each other all year long and buy gifts for ourselves all year long. And we've done some nice things for ourselves this year. So we've informed one another that there will be no gifts tomorrow other than the joy of spending time together.
We're broke. We spent it all. We got some good stuff this year, though. But all the money's gone.
You make it sound like we're destitute. We'll be fine.
We're destitute. We're opening up a GoFundMe for food on Christmas. That's not true.
No, we're fine. We got we bought some art a couple weeks ago. That's our most recent purchase.
Yep.
And then we bought some that we were able to actually take home with us, and then we've placed an order, I believe. Have we? Did you ever respond?
No.
Oh, gotta follow
Technically,
up.
we haven't, I don't think, unless he just shows up with it out of the blue.
We've ordered something custom for a spot in our home that's been empty for like a year and a half. And it's a celebration of our 10-year anniversary, which is coming up in January.
10-year anniversary.
Yep. Hug is always free, and a kiss is always the best gift. Yep, he gets those every day.
She gets to live with me.
Yep. And vice versa.
Best gifts we could ask for.
We're very lucky. Colonel, hello. Merry Christmas. Who has meetings on Christmas Eve? I had only one today, though, I think.
You did?
Yeah, you were there.
We had a very important lunch meeting today.
No, well, I didn't go to that one. But we had a meeting before lunch.
She ditched us. We couldn't go to the place we wanted to go for lunch. They're closed.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
They closed for the holiday. Seems about right. Oh, no, it's Tuesday, which is a normal day that they're closed. I think they're closed Monday and Tuesday normally.
No, they're open on Tuesdays. Just Mondays they're not.
Oh. Sarcastic Grandpa was going to stop at the grocery store yesterday, looked at the parking lot, was like, nope.
Nope.
Went at 6 a.m. this morning, in and out in half an hour. That seems really smart.
I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
By far, I think
Except
that's the way
I was still in
to
bed
do
at
it.
6 a.m. Takes a lot for me to get up that early.
Yeah.
A custom Cora hotel? I mean, Cora has a custom hotel in our house.
Yes.
The entire house is hers.
We live in her house.
We live in her. It's exactly right.
It is
She would tell
Casa
you
de
it's her
Cora.
house. She allows us to stay
and
there.
she allows us to hang out.
Yeah.
She will like push you out of the way, and it's not even a thing to her. It's like, well,
No.
this is my spot.
Yeah, at night, sitting on the couch, she will steal the blanket. I'm a big fan of a blanket at all times of the year when I'm sitting on the couch. And she, when it's her time, she will jump up on the couch and she will steal the entire blanket from me and make herself a little nest.
She really does too.
She
She just comes up and
absolutely
is all
does
like freaking rude about it and just steals mom's blanket instantaneously. She just like scoops it away from her.
Yeah.
It's so funny to watch.
She believes that my side of the bed is actually hers. She allows me a tiny bit of room, but she will fully like push herself into me to get me to move over. And she headbutted me the other day, and I thought I broke my nose.
Keep telling Jen to make sure she tells her friend she ran into a door.
Grande Robert, your dog stares at you till you move, and then the moment you move, she is already behind you. Yeah. That sounds right. She's got her spots that she likes, and she likes to be on the human's right side.
Yeah, that's true.
So it works out for Jason because he sits on the left end of the couch, so his right side is free. But I sit on the right end of the couch, and when she wants to sit next to me, we fight over who gets there first. Your meeting was just because the guy sounded lonely and wanted to talk to someone, felt bad for him, but you talked to the other two and agreed. Yeah, sometimes people need that. That was really nice of you to accommodate that on Christmas Eve. Ours was because we had stuff to figure out.
Ours was real.
Ours was a real meeting. But we get phone calls like that sometimes where people just have a question and then they just need to talk. Mike DiVittorio, hello. Question: what paints did you use for the communicant's skin?
Royal purple as the base. And then advanced flesh tone as a build up on that. And then I started using red gray mixed in with the advanced flesh. And then ultimately on the top of that, I think I used some bone in there. But the bone as kind of the highlight mixer with the red gray. So you just want some light, desaturated color to give it that weird, kind of lives in a cave type look. Then I used basically a Payne's gray wash in the shadows and dark magenta glazed into the in-between of the muscles to give it that kind of, flush, irritated look. Turned out pretty good. Very quick.
D first said I tried a Noosh experiment the other day. I added a touch of glaze and wash medium to the mix, and oh boy, did that stuff make the Noosh react differently. Way more defined streaks. It was interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll turn it into more of a paint at that point, right? You'll lose some of the dry time extension because they're kind of fighting each other. The glaze wash medium is meant to be obviously additive. You're putting the paint on the area, and wherever it falls, it stays. Whereas the Noosh is trying to create it to where you're putting the paint on and then moving it around, taking it off, playing with where it wants to be, and isn't quite as defined. So not something I would typically say is the way you want to do it, but there's no reason not to try. Go for it.
Chuck said it's Christmas Eve, time for an adult beverage. What you got cooking up there, Chuck? You guys do the eggnog thing?
Some nog.
Some nog. Some mulled wine, maybe.
Saw a really fun one. It was like a meme where somebody was going, okay, so it's that time of year, I'm looking for a vegan alternative to eggnog. And the first response on it, whether it was real or not, it's just a meme that's made up. It says, y'all going to have to sit this one out.
Yeah. I've been seeing, this made me think of you, Chuck, and Wad Tomato and all the people up there in the Midwest that talk about Malort.
Malort. Bleh.
I have been seeing, just recently, within the past week or so, I've been seeing a bunch of TikTok videos of people drinking Malort. And they stand in a circle or in a line or where there's a whole group of them, and they will take a drink of it and try not to react. That's the challenge of the video. And I was like, I didn't know what that was until a couple months ago, and now I understand. I mean, not fully because I've never tasted it, but I wouldn't. Ugg said, are you going to paint up a Sin Eater anytime, or did you and I missed it?
Yeah, Jordan did. Jordan's doing the Heretic Legion, which is what the Sin Eater is a part of, and he painted up his Sin Eater already. Unfortunately, Christopher has moved all of Jordan's models out of the studio and prepped for our breakdown and reset up, but
beer from your favorite brewery in Indy. Do a boatload of carry out at Gen Con. Jade has a s'mores beer. Oh my goodness.
S'mores?
I don't know if
as in the cookie?
I like the sound of that.
Beer shouldn't be that. That's like Taco Bell doing chicken nuggets.
Tax Frost said, did my first non-metallic metal with Pro Acryl and failed. Spiky skull thing was too hard for the first attempt.
What was too hard?
A spiky skull thing.
Oh, too many shapes, you think? I generally, when people are starting out with non-metallic, pick a shape that's pretty simple. You know, like a Space Marine shoulder pad or a sword face or an axe or something like that. So you're not fighting the composite shapes, you know. Get your shine and your comfort level with how light would fall across that. Then start diving into harder, more complex shapes.
Somebody likes.
Couch Frog, thank you for the and Dago Grease Hammer. Dago Grease Hammer. Thank you for the follow.
I like Couch Frog.
Couch Frog. Let's see, where did that go? Mike DeVittorio, you answered the question about the skin. Thanks for answering. One more question. What gold or bronze for the stigmatic nun's headpiece and cloth for the nun?
The headpiece was rich gold and bright gold with a brown wash on them.
And then the off-white dirty look on the cloth.
That's all dark camo green and then bone mixed into it to work up, and then finally like an olive flesh or an ivory at the end. So there's no white. I think on some of them maybe I used a little transparent white, but just depends. I think maybe on the first Stigmatic Nun I used a little transparent white.
Somebody posted a recipe for roller grill hot dog infused malort.
I feel like that person
like they juiced the hot dog
is not your friend
and put it into the liquor. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, that person's not your friend. That you should not follow that person.
And the glaze and wash and the noosh defresh said it might make a good effect if you want slimy streaks, almost as if they were slime. It was cool. Colonel's also ready for that Christmas Eve cocktail. It's a question, Jen and Jason. What's your drink of choice? Jason strikes me as a bourbon type of guy. We
don't drink.
We don't drink anymore. Jason will occasionally maybe have a glass of wine or a beer.
Like a red wine, and if I drink any kind of a beer beverage now, it's Athletic Brewing.
He's been doing the
non-alcoholic. They make a really good actual beer tasting non-alcoholic beer that doesn't have to be that filthy Heineken Zero. Or I tried the Stella Zero.
Stella
so
one
horrible.
Was terrible.
The Stella Zero was horrible.
Terrible.
But the Athletic Brewing makes an actual
flat.
beer. Like they spend time to
the Athletic
actually.
one is really the ones that we've tried of theirs have been really good.
There's some things that, like, if I have a taste for it, like Mexican food, I'll want a beer.
I just saw
they make a good Mexican
the whole
lager.
Non-alcoholic thing is becoming very like they're expanding it so much. I saw just the other day, and I was thinking I might try it. They have non-alcoholic like palomas, which is tequila and grapefruit, like grapefruit soda, which sounds really good. I was thinking I might try those. It's just a big commitment. You have to buy like a 6-pack, and what if it's gross?
Give it to the neighbors. That way they have to act like they're thankful, and it all works out.
Panic Bomb, hello. Christmas Sushi is nesting and needs to rearrange the studio. Oh, this has been a plan. Giving it a nice little makeover for the new year. Wild Tomato said one of my friends earlier posted a reel of them pouring Malort into some eggnog. Pretty sure it was for stream redeem, and they weren't inflicting that on themselves willingly. The things people do, though, I swear. Belching Beaver makes the peanut butter stout delicious. They also make a version with Mexican chocolate called Viva la Beaver.
Viva la Beaver!
Let me tell you, these things all sound amazing. And there are many, many days where I see things, descriptions of certain alcoholic drinks. I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. The S'mores beer is Belgian-inspired dark ale with lactose, cocoa, and spices. So good. I mean, I'd try it. Wild Tomato said the Taco Bell nugs are actually pretty decent. Someone here said they were gross.
They're
right?
horrible.
Yeah. Yes, non-alcoholic tequila, non-alcoholic vodka, and gin, I think, are all available.
Seems impossible, but
Yeah. Well, you had one at that Mexican place across from Lostos that closed.
uh-huh.
You had a non-alcoholic tequila cocktail, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a margarita?
No, it wasn't a margarita. It was some other.
Oh, but it was like super sweet.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
thing. That's the thing about
They're always
like
just like fruit
mocktails
juice.
are just fruit juices, and they're so sweet, and that's like not my jam. Ghost Hunter said to buy a 6-pack and crack it at a party. That way you can share them, but that means I would have to go to a party, and I don't have any parties to go to.
Yeah,
Plus,
we
I'm
try
like
to
the
stay away
only
from the whole
person.
party crowd.
Like me and Jason are the only people we know that don't drink. So
We really are. It's strange because it's cut our social life way
Yeah.
down because I don't think people invite us out anymore because we don't drink.
I mean, mock all you want. We don't drink, so it's if we want to at least have an experience, we would try the non-alcoholic stuff. Isn't tequila something you only drink when you want to get hammered, not for the taste? I mean, if you're a college kid drinking cheap tequila, yeah. But there are some really, really, really good tequilas that you can just sip, that you don't have to do any, you don't have to have a lime with it. They just are super smooth and delicious.
They don't want sober Jason. They want naked table dancing Jason. You can't handle the truth. Attacks Frost. I don't drink either. Yeah.
Ghost Hunter.
I'm still in
People
shock
doghouse
listening to the
hobbies.
non-alcoholic talks. The
I mean,
heresy.
Some people just can't do it, and it's an important choice, and yep. Anakin, yeah. There definitely some people who feel like we wouldn't want to hang out if it's like a group of people going to a bar or something, which I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem being around people who are drinking.
Yeah. The night changes.
Yeah.
Is the problem when you don't drink, is that it starts off in the way you would expect, and then it kind of goes off the rails as other people start reaching drunk, and you don't. It feels a little different.
Baldy, you're healthier without him. That's true. Yeah, Mr. Blue, mine too. That's why. It's unfortunate
What's that?
that my body just doesn't handle it. I can't do it.
It was kind of like
not necessarily by choice for me.
it was kind of like an overnight thing too, because Jen and I would go drinking on the weekends and
We used to drink on stream.
hang out and drink
We would
on
do Friday
stream.
night streams. We would, start at like 6:00
Yep.
stream and stream till 9 or 10 and
We had
have cocktails.
we would try
on
a new
stream.
mule,
Yeah.
Moscow Mule variety each week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just was one. It was kind of like out of the blue. Jen was like, I feel bad when I drink, and she just stopped
Like
cold turkey.
miserably bad. Almost immediately. So
Yeah, so it literally just turned off, which is fine.
yeah.
I wasn't going to continue to be like, well, I'm going drinking, because it wasn't ever important to me anyway.
To be honest, after 40, how many times are people going out to get smashed? It depends on the people. Yeah, club soda is my thing. Or sparkling water. Because I also don't drink soda, so there's that. But sparkling water ticks all the boxes for me.
Little fizzy.
It's refreshing. It's fizzy. Put a lime in it. It feels a little fancy. I like it. When we went to the little craft night thing that I went to a couple weeks ago, whatever, Shelby was not our Shelby, but I know someone named Shelby, and she was organizing all of it. So she handled all the food and snacks and stuff like that. And she's like, Jen, look, I got there. She's like, Jen, look. She opens the fridge. It was a full case of Pellegrino for me.
That's awesome.
Because she knows that that's what I drink. Like, that's awesome. That's a good friend right there. PK, yeah, it can be, right? PK said I enjoy a drink here and there, but on my terms. It's hard to explain that to coworkers at the Christmas party.
Yeah, it's kind of like me. You know, I turned it off because Jen doesn't drink. And so I don't drink to drink. I drank because we were in social situations where we were all out and have a glass of wine or beer or whatever. It was never something that I felt like I needed to have.
Yeah.
And so when she stopped drinking, I was like, all right, no problem. So we drink iced tea and water.
Yep. I haven't tried any of the Liquid Death sparkling water.
So I've had them,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them are really good, but there's a lot of that fake sugar aftertaste to them.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And I can't do that.
Yeah,
it's like that weird feeling
Yeah.
at the sides of the back of your tongue that the aspartame type stuff gives. I can't do fake sugar.
I don't mind like a flavored sparkling water, like a liqueur, whatever other brands they have.
Yeah.
I don't mind those, but that's not my first choice. Just a plain old sparkling mineral water is delicious. I don't even need a lime, but that makes it fancy. To be very clear, we don't have any opinion about people who do enjoy drinks once in a while or all the time. That's totally fine. I definitely did my fair share, so I'm in no place.
Oh yeah, we're not. No, we're not making any kind of a statement. We're just talking about how it was funny to me that it was so easy for us to just turn it off.
Yeah.
When Jen was like, no, I don't feel like drinking anymore. I was like,
I can
okay.
tell you too. I had my very last sip of wine at Batista's at LVO in 2020.
Yep.
We went out for dinner.
You get a wine
at the end of LVO, and one of our favorite places in Vegas is Batista's Hole in the Wall. And they have like unlimited wine at your table. Like they just put it down when you sit down, and if you're not paying attention, it'll never empty. Like you won't even notice that it's getting lower because they just replace it immediately.
I mean, how much wine did you have? One glass?
Well, yeah, and the glasses
all night long?
are little tiny. They're little tiny things. So you just keep filling it up. They keep filling the carafe, and before you know it, you're at the end of your meal, and it's they're giving you your delicious espresso stick. And I couldn't even finish one of the little glasses. I just instantly felt terrible, like physically felt terrible. And I loved wine. Some Liquid Deaths are good. Others taste like TV static. I think that's the funniest description.
TV static is the funniest way to describe a taste.
They're like, it's like the static on the TV, or like it's like there's a strawberry in the next room, and you just have a hint of it. Relax Studios, hello, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
PK Climber, you quit smoking, and that was surprisingly easy. That's amazing, because I know that is a really difficult one for people to quit too.
Yeah, my mom's never been able to.
Chuck had to quit drinking for a few years in his late 20s because things were getting out of hand. I've been there too. Where you know it, you're naked dancing on the table.
Well.
Iterator, you're listening at the grocery store. My condolences, I guess. I don't know. I hope it's going okay. Is it crazy? I have to go after work.
Don't scare her. We need to eat tomorrow.
I was too tired yesterday. I did get milk, though, so that I could have coffee today.
And cereal for dinner last
cereal
night.
for dinner last night. Crazy indeed. Okay, I'm just gonna be prepared for it. Take a deep breath. Our grocery store gets a little crazy just in general, so should be an interesting experience. I'm gonna take deep breaths. Source said an old friend of mine decided to quit smoking but would party smoke. He then had to give up partying because he started drinking almost daily just to have a cigarette.
Give him the excuse. Well, it's party.
Cereal is the dinner of champions. Relax Studio wants to know our go-to cereal. So right now, it's the
cheapest
family-sized bags of the, what are they called? It's not Crunch Berries, but like the alternate version of that. The Malto Meal giant bags.
Yeah, it's like the generic version of Captain Crunch.
Yeah, Crunch Berries. We also have Frosted Flakes and Sugar Smacks? Is that the one you got? Yeah.
Super Sugar Smacks.
I love oatmeal. I do like overnight oats, but you have to make it ahead of time, and I don't always get to that, but when I do, that's delicious too. Like I said, so quitting smoking was pretty easy for me, but I still miss it every day, except the part where I smelled. It's so funny, right? Like you don't notice it necessarily on yourself.
That was what I always wondered, is that smell is so heinous.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've never gotten caught up with, even though, obviously in the music industry in my life, there have been smokers around me constantly. And it always just made me nauseous. And to have, the people that were like, oh no, I don't even smell it anymore. And I'm like, how can you build up a tolerance?
Well, you just become nose blind to things. And like I grew up with, the 3 years I lived with my grandparents, they were both heavy smokers. And I didn't know that I smelled like smoke, but I'm sure. Then, years later as a teacher, I would walk around my classroom and I could smell the kids who lived in smokers' houses.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sure I smelled like that when I was a kid.
Yeah, our neighbor's dad is a huge chain smoker on his oxygen tanks.
Oh my gosh.
Last night I walk out to take the dog out and I'm like, holy moly.
I go out in the middle of the night to take her out and I can smell it.
Yeah, he's out all night.
All night just smoking. It's terrible.
It's like he waits for everybody to go to bed.
Maybe.
Right? Because thinks he's smoking in secret or something.
Ugh, it's terrible. A biotic Sphinx said, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to leave old Saint Nick a glass of bold titanium white to dip his cookies in.
Heck yeah.
Santa knows not to eat the paint, though.
Oh, I mean, no.
Rather spend your smoking money on paint. Exactly. Most nauseous you ever got was driving back after smoking in a hookah bar in Kuwait.
Ooh.
I mean, hookah smoke is a different beast. So.
Ooh. That's like mainlining tobacco.
Yeah. And then the flavor, you get that flavor. It's like vaping. The crazy, weird flavors. Yeah, cigarettes are ridiculously expensive. They have been since I was a little kid. I remember that. My grandparents would go to the reservation and buy cigarettes. You get it without tax or something. I don't know.
My mom would have like cases like long boxes of cigarettes in the freezer.
In the freezer.
When we were
Yeah.
growing up. Was the way that worked.
That's probably terrible for them. Nope, don't do that either. I'm not even going to say it out loud because someone will clip it. If it's Solitaire, I'm talking to you.
On the Color Forge stuff and on our spray primers, we've already had to be like, no huffing the paint. People can't be trusted. So quiet. You love the metallics on this model? So this is all done with magnesium as a base and then dark silver over it and then a noosh layer of burnt sienna to weather it. So that's how all of this was done to make the army go super quick, right? Because that's all this is just a base of magnesium on the whole thing. We've airbrushed the magnesium on this guy and then airbrushed the dark silver. And then dry brush it with silver and then do the noosh and then dry brush it with silver again over the top. And it just gives it a really nice beaten, weathered, rusty, kind of dirty, oily look. And that's just burnt sienna with our noosh weathering medium. You slop it on and then you wipe it off. And it takes all the color off the high spots and leaves it in the recesses, but it leaves it in the recesses in a way that looks, like a... especially on the metallics, like a kind of feathered, aging, as opposed to a wash that just pools up in the low spots. This is still on like the high spots and everywhere else that you leave it. You get to determine where it goes. And it works really good. Gives you a nice, quick way to do weathered metals. We've also showed ways that you can do the burnt sienna and rust colors first. Paint the model in, it'll look like a clown suit because it'll be all rusts and yellows, and then dry brush the silver over the top. That's how this was done. But it gives you a similar look, right? So you just do the rust. It was the yellow ochre and the burnt sienna and burnt orange were just kind of stippled on with a big dome dry brush, and it looks crazy. Then when you dry brush the silver on it, it pushes all of that to the bottom, and you only get the rust in between those layers, and it gives you a really, really quick. This is even quicker than the noosh, right? But you can see there's a lot of different ways to get similar results. Just depends on what you're going for. The magnesium gives this more of a yellow tarnished look. This was done with just dark silver and silver.
Angzar Arts, have them email us at support@monumenthobbies.com. They have any pictures, they can send those. That'll help. But someone will get them taken care of directly. Battleborn wants to know if you ever use oils.
Nah, no reason.
We got noosh.
Yeah, we created noosh so you had, for those people that wanted to do subtractive weathering like that, like oil filters and such, that you could do it with an acrylic. I haven't used oils in decades. They just don't provide anything to my experience. I feel like I blend better with acrylics because acrylics are more controllable for me. I may not have the same open time that I would get from an oil, but I'm never in a position where I'm painting a large enough subject to care. I'm blending in small areas, so acrylics do that very, very well.
Relax Studios wants to know how long it takes Noosh to dry.
Depends on how much you put. If you use a crap ton of Noosh, it can take upwards of 45 minutes. The way I do it, probably about 10 or 15 of open time. I generally mix it about, I call it 8 to 1 Noosh to paint. You've watched me if you've been on the stream enough. I don't use really scientific mixing methods, but I feel like about 8 to 1 is a reasonable way to state what I do.
Source said, any opinions and tips on all of the fine plastic bits that come off when cleaning, scraping, or sanding plastic models? I'm thinking it may not be healthy to breathe in some of this stuff, and it leaves a mess too.
Yeah, well, any particulates are bad for your lungs.
Wear a mask.
Solid particulates, wear a mask if you've got what you feel is super fine dust. Like if you're sanding or whatever, always. Like in the shop, always wear a respirator. If you're sanding, especially sanding resins and stuff, it's not that resin in its cured form is any more toxic than any other ABS plastic. It's that any particulate solid going into your lungs can cause you all sorts of problems. So, yeah, don't breathe any of that in. Normally, they're heavy and they don't float in the air. They just fall to the surface, but still.
If it's not oxygen, it does not belong in your lungs.
Correct. Correct.
No one said, I love your product. But you are someone. And our product loves you.
Is Noosh a good medium for panel lining as well? I would use the glaze wash medium. So we have two products that put you into the world of washing and weathering, right? I don't have Noosh over here. Where's Noosh? Noosh, right? So you got Noosh and our glaze wash. Our Noosh comes with a red cap, glaze wash comes with a blue, but you may have older versions that all have the black bottle tops, whatever. Noosh is a subtractive weathering medium, meaning that you mix paint with it, you put it on the model, and then you wipe a lot of the paint off, and the paint that stays in the recesses where the makeup sponge, we use these silicone makeup sponges or whatever these are, and you put the paint on and then you wipe it off the surface and it leaves the coloring in the recesses. So on the video that I did on our YouTube channel, I do this guy, right? And I show you ways of, this guy was painted up and he was this color that I do for my Death Guard, which we call bruised white. And then I took black brown, and basically it looked like I dipped the model in a big glob of black brown. It was gross. It looked like he fell in the mud. The whole model's covered, and then you just take the brush and you wipe it off. Now I did it section at a time. I'd do one leg, and then the crotch and another leg, then the torso, then the arms, because he's big enough that you want to work in spots. But by putting the brown black over it, then you get this really dark weathering layer that makes him look gritty and grimy. And then I go back in and do all of the individual streaks with Noosh as well, where I would take like burnt orange and mix it with Noosh, and I'd put a blob of Noosh of the colored Noosh with the orange on that rivet, and then I would take a paintbrush, a wet paintbrush, and push it into the blob, and then pull it down real quick, and it would make a streak. And then you could wipe it with your finger and it would only leave that one streak, and then you can keep adding. So it's a very oil paints kind of filtering way to do it. You can see that I use some yellow ochre. You can see a little bit of yellowishness here where I would take the yellow ochre and kind of squib it on there and then wipe it off with my finger or the sponge, and it would still give a little bit of a stain that gives you the idea of these old, disgusting spots. But you wouldn't create that with a normal wash because it gives you this really neat filter that doesn't look like paintbrush just drying in a weird spot. It looks like weathered metallic, right? So that's Noosh. You put it on, and it's the taking it off and the wait time, so you let it stain more or less, that gives you the effect. And the effect seems like it wasn't hand-painted. It feels baked in, right? The glaze wash medium is something where if you want to thin the paint down so that it flows into cracks, like for panel lining and pen washing better, you mix it with the glaze wash medium. And it extends the drying time a little bit, but what you're looking for is putting the paint into an area like a panel line or into the recesses of a model, and then leave it alone. You want it to flow better, reach into those areas, and then stay there. You don't want to wipe it and clean it up. And so that's where this is. This is additive, meaning you want to put the paint on the model, mix it with glaze and wash, and just have it stay where you put it, right? And noosh is when you want to mix the paint with the medium, put it on the model, and then wipe it off and play with it so that you get a more natural style of weathering that doesn't look painted on.
Colonel, it sounds like had maybe a little clog in the bold titanium white dropper cap. Now, Colonel, is it our standard twist cap, or are you using the alternate dropper caps? Can you show how to pull the top apart?
So you've got, if you have one of our twist caps that you sometimes might leave open, right, or not close it all the way and air gets in there, it might get a little gummy. Just open the twist all the way, right, like that. Let me back out a little bit here. Right, so this is how you would normally use it. And then when you get it there, just with your finger and your thumb, put it there, and then twist and pull, and you'll remove it. And this is the area where the paint comes out. And you should be able to see these 3 triangles clear of debris, because that's your hole where the paint comes out. And then the cap, right, you should be able to see through there. But you can just clean any dry or chunky paint out of there. Get a toothpick or something. You can take this cap off, obviously, would be the best way to do that. Take the cap off and then get any chunky paint out of there if you've left it. The only time that'll happen is if you've left it open. Easy to do.
Bud. Merry Christmas. Bud said, we in chat all make
Go see what's going on.
Because you are a gift to us. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do. Bud.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out. You guys make this possible. I was telling somebody today, we had one of our viewers come in here, right? And it was like, oh, he's in chat. And brought cookies and told us they love being part of the community. We're like, if you weren't here, we'd just be painting and talking to ourselves, and that's kind of weird. So thank you guys for hanging out. You're a huge fan of the flip top bottle caps? Yeah, they just don't seal, so you're going to get some drying out of your paint, quicker on those as you use the cap more, because it'll wear a little bit. The twist cap is the way to go. A lot of people say it's inconvenient, but it is there for a reason. It's engineered to keep your paint fresh, and it does a much better job of that than anything else. So,
Michael Paints Minis, happy holidays to you. Zazin, same to you. Merry Christmas. Relax Studio has one more question for weathering. When you noosh and then wipe it off, you take some of the highlights away. How do you reinstate the highlights on a weathered model?
You take the highlights away. What do you mean?
Like you're covering them up maybe with the noosh? Just repaint them.
Yeah. You shouldn't do your final highlights. You should highlight the model before you do any washes of any kind, my opinion. This is not always the most popular opinion. I believe you should do your base coats, midtones, and highlights to some extent before you put the wash on. Like I highlighted some texture on this skirt of hers before I put the wash on, so that when I put the wash on and it drags all those colors down darker because I did a black-brown wash, that those textures that I put on there go down lower too. So you notice I did them very bright and garish the first time, knowing that I would put a wash over them so it would darken them down, and now they just become fabric texture in there that looks a lot better. So when I put them on, I make it too bright, wash it down, knocks it down. But I still have highlighting on that area, right? And then the key is to go back in and highlight where I need it to be for lighting if I choose to make it any brighter. So I always recommend doing that. So you're always going to put some highlight on, do your noosh, do your wash, whatever you're doing, and then go back and re-highlight the uppermost areas. Don't re-highlight everything the same way, because what will happen is that now that I have the edge highlight on these folds in the skirt that I already painted that got knocked down with the wash, when I go back and highlight again, I don't want to do that whole line. Like here, I won't do up here. I'll only do down here at the bottom, whoop, where it pops out and there's a little bit of light. That way I'll get a blended highlight on this line. There'll be the kind of darker highlight that I have here, and then here at the bottom, it'll get a little bit brighter.
Holy Fire Them, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Merry Christmas Eve.
Welcome, everybody.
Merry Trenchmas Eve.
Trenchmas Eve. Holy Fire, thanks. Yeah, we've just been kind of blowing through them. I say blowing through them. I'm taking more time than I would like, but we're having a lot of fun with them. They're just real simple. This was supposed to be a lesson in how to paint an army quickly. It's now been 2 weeks of me not going very quickly, but we've been doing a lot more talking and explaining as we go, but to be able to get stuff done fast when you want to put an army on the table, but still not sacrifice quality. These are the kind of techniques that we're showing. We're using a lot of washes, some dry brushing, things like that will help get models on the table a lot quicker.
Ismael Camarillo said, hello, didn't expect to stream today, but glad to hear Jason's soothing voice. Feels like I'm listening to Bob Ross. It's our last stream of 2024.
Last stream of the year today,
the rest of the year off to redo the studio, spruce it up a little bit, do some rearranging.
All of this will be different when you see us next time.
Going into the new year.
All of this will be different. And if it's not different, blame Christopher.
Yeah.
It's Chris's fault if it's not different.
Yeah. Death from Impulsor said, did I hear something earlier about trench girls?
Trench bunnies.
Trench bunnies we were talking about. They were very cute.
Somebody had like some trench bunny miniatures by somebody. I don't remember.
Limbo Division 209.
There you go.
Google those. They're real cute.
There you go.
We didn't know anything about them.
Phil says blame Christopher. I'm going to put anyway. So Phil just blames Christopher all the time.
Oh, Tomato said, so fun fact. Holy Fire Them is the friend I mentioned earlier during the Malort Nog.
Oh, no.
How was it? Was it terrible? It's bad. Okay.
I was going to say, I don't think there's a way to make Malort good.
I'm so glad it's something I've never experienced.
My grandmother was like, oh, yeah, Malort.
Ugh.
And I'm like, ugh. But she liked that stuff that's made out of like artichoke or whatever it is,
Yeah,
the red stuff.
Campari.
Campari and all that crap.
Fido, hello. Happy day. Blame Christopher. Yep. Mr. Blue said, pro tip, bold titanium white works as whiteout when changing the text on Christmas cards.
I mean, did you have to switch who the gift is going to? I think you're supposed to buy extra cards just for that reason, right?
Flapjack said, Malort is not that bad. I will die on this hill.
You will die alone.
I'm just taking everybody's word for it because it's a completely different world that I am not a part of. Chuck said, best way to make Malort good is to dump it down the drain.
Yep.
Relax Studio said, okay, thank you, Jason. One of these days, I'll pay you back for all the free advice and everything you guys do. We're happy to do it. It's
there is no payment necessary.
Why we're here.
You support our products.
Yep.
You support our crazy brands.
Yep.
You sit around and listen to our bad jokes. Hang out with us on stream. I don't know what other support you think you need to get.
Yeah, if you truly, really love our stuff or even just really like it, the best thing you can do is tell your friends.
Yep.
That's all we ask.
Yep, push the brand further into the world. Yep. We are growing aggressively year over year, and we have been since 2016, and that's all because of you guys. Telling your friends and, preaching the gospel of pro acryl out in the world. We can't ask for anything more.
You liked the picture but didn't like the pre-written message. So you used bold titanium white and just painted over the message in the card. I love that.
So I'm just taking some warm flesh. You can see how much brighter it is. This is my highlight on my leather.
Doghouse Hobby Studios. Enjoy your holiday. Thanks for spending a little bit of it with us.
Doghouse, take it easy. Enjoy Christmas. Hope you have a wonderful holiday.
Malort and Campari are great in cocktails as part of the greater product. Again, I'll take your word for it.
It sounds like a thing Gabe would say.
Wasn't Gabe?
Gabe's an alcohol hipster. Although I have to say that, and my grandmother loved Campari and Malort, right? She came from an older time where those were the things that made spicy cocktails that weren't just the gin straight that the working man drank.
Let's see. Sir Blame said, I bought Monument Hobbies paint in Brazil. So happy you guys ship it here to that one single store. Awesome.
Yeah, I think we only have one store in Brazil.
that would be Philip. Oh, and there's Philip. So I need to blame all these people for all the work I have to do? Yeah, you do.
You get to blame them for having a job, Philip.
Just Grumpy said I'm going to need a reliable supply of Pro Acryl in Spain in a few years.
What? Are you retiring to Spain? Please tell me you're retiring to Spain.
If we've got a few years, shouldn't be a problem.
We got some big news on that
We
front
got
coming
some-
this next year.
Got some plans in the works. Let's see. Zazin said. Oh, actually, let me go to this other one first. From Mouseweir04. Hi, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. A friend bought me some paints after I told them how much I like using the 3 jades. I was talking to them about non-metallic metal. They bought me the Flame On Signature, Caramel Brown, Bright Yellow Ochre, and Bright Pale Yellow. Can I ask, are these fine to do non-metallic with? As I wondered if he bought the 3 wrong colors. Well, that set, first of all, is fantastic with individual colors on its own, but the Flame On set is perfect for non-metallic gold. So those 3 colors, Jason, do you think that's sufficient? Caramel Brown, Bright Yellow Ochre, and Bright Pale Yellow.
Yeah. I almost want a darker brown, but if you have a darker brown, like dark umber, that works too. When doing non-metallic metal, the big key is to make sure that you have a big transition from darkest color to brightest color. And the transition there from the caramel brown being your darkest color into the bright pale yellow, it has contrast, but it's going to look more like something that's painted faded yellow. You need that darker color to be the dark reflection in metallic, right? So the way to sell non-metallic metal is that darkness is not always shadow. It does have shadows like any other material, but the darkness is more dark reflections in the environment. Let's find something that has a pretty dramatic show of that. Well, we can use Percival, right? So on all of this, even though it's dull silver armor, it's not made to be polished chrome. The reality is that what makes the metal work is the darkest color, right? This halo of darker blue, darker gray blue, and then the bright color are very far apart in their actual value. Notice how I go to what looks like almost black in some of these areas. That's what you're going to need, right? You have to have a very dark color sitting next to a very bright color in order to pull off that reflectiveness. Otherwise, it just looks like it's painted gray or painted yellow. Notice how my gold up here has black brown as the darkest color. So there's black brown that you still see. And then I go into that caramel brown. Then those 3 colors are perfect. You just need one darker brown to pull it off, right? Because you're going to need that one color that when you put it next to the bright pale yellow, like right there, gives you that kind of contrast, that little pinprick of bright pale yellow, and then the black brown next to it. You're not going to have that with a caramel brown. It's not going to be dark enough. So it's not going to give you the shine. It's not going to pop the bright color off the page the way you want it to. Page is the wrong word. Off the model the way you want it to, right? You need to be focused on making it sure at least one of your colors is super dark, and then the rest of them can all be in your mid-tone and bright range. But, you know, like you look at the center part of Percival's chest plate, and you see where it's like that dark gray blue on this side, the Payne's gray, and then you have the shine line of the white blue, and then my mid-tones on this side. But it's having that dark line right next to the bright line that gives it dimension and shine. Does that help? So yeah, your colors are perfect. Just add one more dark brown.
So thanks. I did think it looked odd when I tried it. Thank you very much. Let's go back to the question about colors, which was from Zazin. Do you choose your paints before you paint a model or pick as you go?
Pick as I go. I'm the king of not having a plan. I literally make it up as I go. And there's interchangeable colors. You might see me painting an army and switch up using dark flesh here as the highlight for leather on this one, for khaki on another one, or bright ivory or something on another one. It really doesn't matter. You know, the variability of it is sometimes what gives the army or the model character. So I'm more a fan of random, choices as I go. Not random, it's not a good word, but not having a plan. But we talk about it all the time to offset that idea that you could have a person that that plans everything methodically, and paints fantastically. It really is just where your comfort zone is. If you like having a plan and have all your colors laid out so that you don't have to make those choices on the fly, for some people that alleviates a lot of the stress of analysis paralysis because you already know what you're doing before you even start. Perfect. Do it. There's no right or wrong to model painting. The chaotic freedom of painting, I think, is the biggest thing, right? You just choose as you go. Make it yours. Whatever feels comfortable and gets the job done is the right way to do it.
Ismail Camarillo said a friend got me the paints when I was at LVO a couple of years ago. I literally sold the brand in front of Jen, and he bought the entire range. That's
nice.
Fantastic. I love when that happens. Mazamoon, wish more stores here carried Procro. Where are you? We're working on getting Procro into a lot more stores in 2025.
World domination. Wait.
Just ask Philip.
Did I say that out loud?
Just Grumpy said, I hope to retire to Spain. I need a more simple life with a lot of painting. Colonel had to look up what Malort is. Said, what I found, it's like sucking dandelion juice through a straw made of car tires. Amazing. Wad Tomato has fun fact number 2. The friend I talked about at Dragonfall that demonstrated why Monument's bottles are superior to standard droppers via a standard dropper popping its top. Also holy fire them. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Love it. Our caps are superior.
They're expensive too, so our cap probably costs as much as the dropper cap and bottle for our competitors, so. But we're okay with that.
Colonel said, I admire you, Jason, for being that way. I need a plan. I check it twice and still have to do multiple test models before I commit.
Nothing wrong with that, like I said.
Yeah.
Whatever gives you the confidence to paint and turns the model out the way you like it is your way of painting. Don't let anybody, not me, not anybody on the internet, not anybody in the comments section, don't let anybody tell you what makes art and what makes creativity fun, right? There is no real hard, fast set of rules for creating. You'll find people that have been classically trained in art and they'll have everything under the sun to tell you about why you do things a particular way. And that's great, right? There's a lot of reasons to do stuff a particular way. And then there's also a lot of reasons why to break those rules in art so that we can have cool new things that nobody's experienced before. And miniature art is no different. Try something. If you see me doing something that you like, try it. And if you mess up and don't get the steps right, but by reversing them, you get something you really like, be proud of that. Use it over and over. Repeat it until it becomes second nature. Me, I'm kind of chaotic in that I like a lot of texture. I'm not so careful about making sure that everything's super clean because normally we're painting war dollies and having the kind of messiness to them gives a flair that I really enjoy. But also knowing how to paint very cleanly with nice blends and smoothness will help you tackle situations where maybe a model's put in front of you or you want to do something in a scene and tell a story that you're not used to. Get all those tools and use them.
Mr. Blue said, I'm always afraid of the dry paint flaking off when I dispense. So you can, when you squeeze paint out, squeeze out a little bit less than you would normally use. And then when you close the bottle and it pushes a little bit up, use that. Put that, wipe it on your palette.
Yeah.
And use it, and then you don't have the dry paint at the top.
You'll always get a little, but why does it scare you? It won't bite. And it's a ton better than the schlock that gets stuck in the cap of your dropper bottle if you've been painting for a while.
Mr. Blue said the airbrush, like the dry paint and the airbrush.
Oh, yeah. If you're, I always recommend that you put all of your paints as you're going into airbrush into another container first anyway.
Paint liquor, Mortal Kombat, no. We know where you live. PK Climber said AC Miniatures said he leaves his open for a minute or so after he pours it. That has worked well for me. Yep.
Yep, also true.
Malev has the whole thing where he taps it on the table.
Yep, the tip tap.
Jason shared a little trick a few weeks ago that completely blew my mind, and I think a lot of other people in chat, that if you only need a little bit, that you don't even squeeze any out. You just open the bottle, turn it upside down, turn it right side up, close it, and it pushes out just a little bit, and that's your little tiny drop of paint. Mind-blowing.
I was blown away that everybody was like, "Oh, what?" I was like, "Yeah."
A little crusty tip never hurt nobody, said Watt Tomato.
Also true. And Watt, I love you, by the way.
Wants to know what is the yellow thing on the head of the weapon. Not ignorance. It's a crazy, crazy thing.
This is, yeah. So this faction of trench pilgrims are insane martyrdom freakoids. And that is a shaped charge. That's basically a claymore strapped to the hammer, the business end. She walks up and smacks you. It's going to detonate, and everybody takes wounds. At least one person dies. And then she takes a wound, everybody takes a wound. This is a war priestess, and she's just marching across the battlefield preaching the gospel until it gets time to get serious, and then she gives you the business end of a shape charge.
What? That's just bonkers.
Yeah, that's just bonkers. Yeah, that's this whole army. I mean, we have a whole army of people. Here's the prisoners, the ecclesiastic prisoners, right? I start on my skin with purple, which is why they're not alien Thanos purple, but they strap bombs to the back of these guys, and then they have det cord that is on spools, and the castigators will push these guys out into combat, and they just run forward until they get to the right spot, and then somebody in the back lines hits the detonator and blows up. And if they survive, well, I guess they do it again. But yeah, this whole army is filled with absolute crazoids, right? The standard trooper is barefoot in trench warfare with a shotgun, right? And a helmet of God.
Those are the naughty children on Trenchmas.
Yeah, if you're really naughty, you get strapped to the Catherine wheel. They break your bones, so you bend in and get strapped to the Catherine wheel, and this is its main weapon. It goes and smashes the bad guys with the wheel, and you get the joy of being on the wheel, being the first into the fray. So yeah, the trench pilgrims are pretty gruesome in their own right. They sacrifice sheep to give you extra wounds. Oh yeah, I picked good ones. Clearly mad, yes. Clearly mad. Technically not church sanctioned. But the church is fine with having them be the guys on the field first. Oh yeah, please, go forth, my flock. Die first. Meat shield.
Spider said, I love the wacky designs of this game. I laughed when I saw the priests with sniper rifles.
Oh yeah, priests. The blind priests. The blind snipers. They're all blind. They're guided by Christ. The stigmatic nuns. They show the stigmata. And then, are basically like wild, crazy, heavy-hitting melee or sharpshooters, and they go run around on the battlefield. The blood from their eye, the stigmata and hands is their own. So
Jesus, take the rifle. Jay Tyler said, what? No Krampus? No Krampus.
We figured this was much better. Or if you're looking for shock value at Christmas, why not paint trench nuns?
Right.
Yeah, they're great though. The castigator is kind of like their commissar. He has like a reliquary of hands.
The scroll should read, don't eat the paint.
Yes, don't eat the paint. I wish I could paint that small. I wonder if I can. I can at least kind of make it feel that way maybe. If I had like one of our little Micron pens, I could do it with a Micron pen maybe.
Chuck said, so I want to say that I've learned a lot in my first full year in this community, but learning to paint the sclera of eyes before anything else last week was life-changing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that whole part about painting eyes on miniatures is probably the best thing that you can having your rapport for making miniatures feel easier. You know, that and like layering skin. I mean, there's a lot of things, but eyes give everybody problems. And
Mm-hmm. T. Schmidt believes in you.
what's that?
T. Schmidt said, I believe in you, Jason.
About what?
That you can do it? I don't know.
You can do it. What was I having problems with? Was I having problems with something?
No, I don't think so. Telemachus said, for Christmas, I bought my wife new beads for her abacus. It's the little things that count. Yes, it is. Merry Christmas to you, Telemachus.
Tell for years I have loved you, but my love has boundaries, buddy. We're going to need to set some new boundaries between us, friend.
Oh, painting tiny words. T. Schmidt believes
Oh.
in you.
Gotcha.
Anakin Skyhumper said you could use a micro pen. I don't think Jason's going to use a pen.
A little bit of the black brown wash on top of the leather wrap of the hammer, and then a wet brush to remove it at the top so that it really just shades the in-between and the bottom spots. So just clean your brush off. You have a little dampness on it, and you can make the wash go away up top. That give me a little bit of a grittier look, but keep my highlight.
No grinchiness, just a long-standing love-hate relationship with Telemachus's dad jokes.
The Grinch for a minute there. Boundaries. We need boundaries with Telemachus for sure. Have you seen what he types when he shows up?
Always something good.
You pay. Fido says I paint Raffle Mal on my scrolls. Raffle Mal.
Raffle Mal.
There's an old video with the undead priest from World of Warcraft, or undead sorcerer or something, running around casting spells, killing people, and going Raffle Mal. When that was Leet Speak was first a thing. I'm that old. I still remember this. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. The whole crew here, once we get the rest of the physical models going, I think everybody here is excited to tinker around with Trench Crusade, get some armies on the table. I want to paint the Black Chalice guys too. One of the more horrific demonic groups I think would be kind of fun.
Telemachus, thank you so much for stopping by to deliver a Christmas dad joke.
Tell we
to
love you.
us.
Thank you. Wish we saw
We
more of you.
appreciate you, taking time out of your holiday. Enjoy time with your family today and tomorrow. And see you again next time. Dan Short said, Merry Christmas from Australia. It is Christmas there already. Yes.
What?
What's going on in the future?
Cheater?
What's
You
it
get to open your
like?
presents early?
Merry Christmas back to you.
Cheater.
Zazen said, did you get any trench terrain?
All of it.
All of it.
I think in the printed version, they send us 2 sets of all of it. Now, when we get it, no idea.
Black Bladder said, did I hear we will have Trench Crusade game streams in the future?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if you've heard that, but
If we can get Mike
Could be.
Francina out from California to hang out with us in the studio, I'd love to play him in a game. He hasn't played Trench Crusade yet. He's the maker.
and he's the maker and he hasn't played it yet?
Nope.
Oh, goodness.
He designs worlds and is an artist. And then Tomas is the game developer. And so they have this great team that's clear across the world from one
Yeah.
another. And Mike's in down at, basically worked for Blizzard and such. So he's in Southern California. And he said he hadn't played it yet. But he said he was anxious to, and I'm like, well, let's get him on then.
Pastor said, I'm really looking forward to painting my Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent.
Yes. So many good ones. I mean, like I was saying earlier, when we had them on stream, we had Mike and Jamie from Trench Crusade team on stream, and I was admitting to them that it's one of the few games that's come out in, the last decade or more, probably, where every faction makes me want to paint the faction. There's some that are a little bit too focused on like big demons. I don't really care about that stuff, right? But they still make the models so awesome that you're like, oh, how do you get me with things like this? So yeah, it's good. Mike's design eye is tremendous.
Zazen said, how do the Kickstarter funds work? Can they spend it on anything?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I believe so.
How does the Kickstarter funds work? Can they spend it on anything? I mean, it's money to a company.
Yeah.
So as soon as it's fulfilled and done and the backer kit's done and everything's charged, then all the money goes to the company. And the company then uses that funds, you hope, to complete the business that they sold.
They should.
Right?
be using it for
the thing with
items
the
they
thing
bought.
with something like Trench Crusade is they did the bulk of the work up front. So all of the STLs have already been delivered, or at least mailed out to the people, and they've gotten their notifications for My Mini Factory. I think he said he was 99% through that list. So everybody already has the ability to get their STLs, download them, print them. People can be making their armies right now. That part of it's fulfilled. The physical models are being made by a third party, and so they have to pay that third party to make all the models, right? So that money needs to go there. And they need to complete the book, which has a lot of amazing artists involved in it, and writers, Graham McNeil. You've got some great people writing stories and characters and things like that that'll go into the hardbound book. And the hardbound book is not supposed to be ready to deliver until like mid-summer or late summer. So they have a lot of work, and that money will help to provide for that work. They are a great team. So if there is a team that I've had confidence in doing it right, then it's these guys. Because it's a team of 4 guys. This has been life-changing for them. Imagine having a $5 million Kickstarter amongst 4 people that created this amazing game. The community's really stepped up. Brilliant launch. They were very, very honest throughout it. So, yeah, we don't have any skin in the game. I like the concept. I like the models. I like the game. So.
Just grumpy enough. Thanks for hanging out. It was good to see you.
Have a wonderful Christmas, man.
Yeah, I hope to be able to watch more. Pesky work keeps getting in the way. I understand. Mine too.
Mine too. Wait a minute.
I was like,
that's my line.
It took you a while. But...
That's my line. Zazen, they went up to over 5 million.
Damaged beyond repair. We don't think so. Thank you for the follow.
Christopher, I need you to get the new studio set up. I can't. My desk is a mess. I'm really looking forward to the new studio setup because it's going to allow me to not have crap everywhere.
Anytime the desk gets messy, we just have to redo the whole studio.
Yeah. We don't clean. We just let it be a chaos for 2 or 3 years, and then we rearrange everything, buy a lot of new equipment. I'm excited.
Fido said, "I really hope it succeeds in a big way. I adore the idea of mini agnostic games." I mean,
yeah, the thing is, they're keeping it that way too, even though they've spent all this time and effort creating the lore, specific models. They're still big fans of you doing whatever you want to do to play Trench Crusade, and that's huge because the rules are free. You didn't have to buy them. They've been free for years. You can go on the Trench Crusade group right now and download the PDF for the rules. That includes the campaign rules and everything. So, yeah, you can do some pretty amazing things that they've allowed us to do. And if you always want to continue, they're even supporting a Kickstarter that's coming up. That's another model maker that's coming out with a set of models for a special unit in the game. So the team supports even those that, make models that aren't directly related to the Trench Crusade team.
Yeah, as in, I'm sure they will. But remember, like Jason said, that $5 million is not just going straight into their pocket. There are a lot of expenses that go with actually delivering the products. So
They have to pay a lot of amazing artists that are
Yeah.
doing work for them and stuff like that. So
Zazen wants to know if there's any thought of doing a collaboration between Monument and Trench Crusade.
we have some stuff cooking, actually. Yes. We'll see what we can come up with. We are touching base at the beginning of the year to talk more about that. Obviously, they're inundated with all the business that they've got, and they are focused as they should be. That's one of the things that I can really say I respect, is that they were like, hey, listen, let's get through this initial launch, and then we really want to do something, but we're going to wait until we have the bandwidth, and we want to make sure that our people get taken care of. So they got the right mentality.
Awkwardish Panda, hello. Happy holidays to you. Gonna head down painting all day. Hope it's going well. Colonel said, Jason, do you know what the Kickstarter is for that unit of Trench Crusade?
I don't the red something, I don't remember. The unit that's known in the lore that might be kind of like fan fiction. Neat models. You can dig up more info on the Facebook page. The Trench Crusade Facebook group is worth joining for sure if you're interested in it. There's a lot of really active people on there that have not only good inspiration in the stuff they do, but good welcoming community for getting people into the game.
Mal Swear said, I love the fact that kit bashing possibilities with Trench Crusade is endless with all the models out there.
Oh yeah. Anything in that model agnostic kind of world allows you to pull your favorite, like old Mordheim models, you name it. A lot of people using like Death Core of Krieg. There's 50 million models in the world that could be put together to do this with. And more now, with the advent of everybody being able to just kind of jump on board and make their own models if they're 3D sculptors, all sorts of new stuff. A lot of it is even free. There's some people in the Trench Crusade group that had released like free STLs for their favorite units. There's a dog handler one that's really cool. All sorts of fun stuff. So, what did I do with One Flesh? My palette and my cup are starting to look better.
And they were too clean yesterday.
It's way too clean. I'm fixing that. They're getting steadily dirtier.
It's 3:30.
What?
Got about 30 minutes left in our final stream of 2024.
That's so silly. To think it's year end.
It's crazy. Time to wash the paint water cup for Chuck. Gotta keep that cup clean.
Chuck's like, I washed mine 4 times during the session I was painting yesterday.
Appreciate all of you who are hanging out with us here on Christmas Eve. You guys have any fun traditions for Christmas Eve? Found it, the Trench Crusade, the Red Brigade. Looks interesting. Thank you, Jason.
Red Brigade. Yeah. But the nice thing is you don't have to do any of that, right? You can just literally go with it as you like. You can use models you already have and play with the rules and not even care what it looks like. The rule set is just really good on its own. There is a lot of nuanced kind of story mode weaponry listed in the lexicanum, if you would.
Chuck, I like this. Chuck said they get carry out and watch White Christmas on Christmas Eve. Thai food tonight. That kind of sounds good.
Not bad.
Watch tomatoes wrapping presents, typically a Christmas Eve tradition. Board games with fam. Traditional frantic wrapping of presents I should have wrapped weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm wrapping presents and then playing PoE.
You're wrapping presents? Not wrapping presents.
Well, I'm going to have more time to play video games then.
There you go. Nope, no New Year's Eve stream where the studio is going to be taken apart after today. We're all taking the day off tomorrow for Christmas, and then Thursday, Friday, and next week Christopher will be working hard to redo the stream, create some magical setup that will do amazing things, I'm sure. Awkwardish Panda, nothing specific on Christmas Eve, but Christmas morning you get up early, make hot cocoa for folks to have while you open presents, fire up a stream to hang out with people that want company. Oh, that's nice. So you'll be streaming tomorrow.
Oh, that's great.
Fantastic.
This sucks because I need to be able to draw my brush. Oh, maybe I can squeeze it in this way. I need to be able, for this shadow, I need to be able to go from the highlight here back into the shadows, but I can't. I'd have to push from this direction. So I'm going to rotate it this way, take my brush and go in between there. I can't really see where I'm hitting, but I'm just going to trust in the brush and the technique. Do it like that, and there we go. And I blend that orange back to where I've got that yellow shine down the middle. Yellow shine down the middle, and then my orange. I'm using orange transparent to do this because it does such a great job at blending. And then I'm going to take the brush and load it up with a tremendous amount of water with the orange transparent. So the orange transparent is barely doing anything. Need more water than that even. Orange transparent is super vibrant, right? Like something like that, right?
As Nabal said, Frohen Sabend. Which I think means Merry Christmas Eve.
And then go over that yellow spot. Same on this side. And that gives me my final color with a shape charge. So using the transparency over the top as that final coloring and also to give that shade.
Going Hollywood on us, yep. Full production setup here.
Will the don't eat the paint sign be altered so the don't is flickering?
No.
And sometimes goes out and then magically comes back on?
Nope. Colonel, there's loads of odds. Like years worth of odds.
That's awesome, Colonel, by the way.
So, yeah.
As it says, Metachrist be blessed.
You're on the YouTube. Look at the VODs. Start back at the beginning. It will carry you through.
She's coming along.
Pastor said, man, it's always such a pleasure to watch you paint, isn't it? Like, you get lost in it. It's
sometimes it takes me a long time to get to the finish line because I'm just playing and having fun and using a lot of this to kind of show you various techniques. So when every model is kind of a tutorial piece, I have as much fun painting every little bit because I'm like, oh, what can I show here? Yeah. So I'm using a lot of different techniques on the same model that I might not normally use. I would do these models a lot quicker if I was just doing them with nobody watching. But it's a lot of fun for me to go through and say, oh, well, how can we do this part, you know? So I'm having a lot of fun with them because all of these models have a lot of really good textures. Being able to do wood and metal and, you know, silly things like shape charges, you know, is pretty cool. There's a lot going on these. The bells, all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm a fan. They've done a great job in the world with the artwork. Having the official models, I think, that are expressed, you know, via that original artwork is super cool.
Be like when Mama J and Papa J talk back and sometimes get annoyed at all the dad and fart jokes. I mean, you're gonna see all that in the VODs. It just won't be directly to you unless you watch one where you were watching, chatting, which is fun, like a rerun. And we'll be back. We'll only be gone for like a week. And they may need to test things. So be sure you're in the Discord so you get the alert.
Yeah, we're shooting to be back for at least testing live the stream on the 3rd. Right? And depending on how it goes, we might be testing sooner than that. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll let you know in the Discord. It won't be, like we might turn the stream on for 30 minutes to test camera angles and audio and see how people are digging it. But other than that, we plan on just going live. Press the live button. Get it done.
Colonel, that's awesome. Thank you. We appreciate the support, your participation. Definitely makes the stream a lot more interesting when you guys are asking questions and chatting.
Yeah, this stream is your stream.
Colonel said that ever since I found this stream, I have not missed a live one. That's awesome. Yep, that's our goal. We're here to ruin people's streaks.
Yep.
Technically, it can't ruin your streak if there's not a stream. Like, if you pick right back up on the first stream back, I think you still have a streak of watching our stream at least.
Yeah, because it's based on streams we actually do.
Yeah.
Not days of the week. Otherwise, your streak would be ended on Saturdays.
Yeah.
The way we end your streak is when we do unexpected Saturday streams. That's what ends people's streaks. Is I'll come and just do some random Saturday or Sunday show, and people are like, "Damn you!"
I didn't know, I was already busy.
Damn you!
I was spending time with my family.
Yeah, I have to have some time away. You're killing.
Finishing your tattoo on the 3rd, you'll be able to watch the whole thing for once. Oh, that's what you meant, Source, is the testing is going to ruin this. It's exactly what you just said.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, if I do like 15 minutes randomly. We'll see how that goes. I don't know that that'll actually happen. We'll play around with it. You guys are going to love when you get your hands on this brown gray wash that I've been using on the metals. Oh my God, it's so good. Has just a hint of warmth to it as opposed to the black. Not too much, but just perfect, especially on the metal like that. Just a little bit of yellowishness to it from the brown. Love it.
Family Fantasy RPG said I'm watching my first stream with you guys while painting
Novitiates.
Kill Team. Awesome. Welcome. Thanks for spending your part of your holiday with us. Rattlecan, you're the quiet guy in chat. That's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
We know you're here. Chuck said, since there's no stream and Paint Mom and Dad are leaving us latchkey kids to our own devices, we could do a Zoom hobby hangout over the holidays.
Yes.
You could indeed.
There are available rooms on the Discord.
Discord has some spaces.
Nobody uses them. I've thought about trying to figure out how to get more people into using those. I just haven't had the personal time to get it organized. But maybe in the new year we can find a way to get more people to join in and do some little, like town hall, ask me anythings on the Discord would be fun.
Mm-hmm. Deadbeat Artist, hello. Light and Passion, hello. Merry Christmas to you.
What's going on, Light and Passion? Deadbeat. Little crosses on these things that have been bugging me, so I'm going to paint those. Oh boy, on the underside, that's barely legible because of where the supports were. So I'm just going to freehand this.
I just got really hungry.
You just got really hungry?
Yeah. Just realizing that that one almondy cookie is all I've had today.
Is not
And my
cutting
coffee.
it anymore?
Deadbeat said, I'm using fluorescence to paint OSL. These paints are cheat codes.
Oh, they're so good. So good.
Colonel, he's got readers on.
Yeah. I can't look at the rest of the world with them, only at the model.
Yeah.
And there's
Which is why
times
he
where I'm
wears
looking
them
at the
way down
model
like this.
outside of the readers and with the readers. Most of the time with the readers on something that's this small.
His are like the 1.25, I think.
I think
Mine are
1.2. No, 1.5s.
1.5.
They're 1.5s.
Mine are like 2.5. I have really bad eyes.
1.5s. And they were fine for me. I try to use hers and they make my head hurt.
No, it's too much.
I don't need too much. I just need enough to bring it all into focus for it's getting old.
Family Fantasy using Procryl Red Earth fine texture at the moment. Awesome. Ooh, T. Schmid. Yeah, that would be a rough one. Last minute shopping. Target is a cluster. I have regrets. You can do it. There's no skin showing on the model, but you know this person is sweating hot under the robes. Spoon Handle, excited to open your mega set tomorrow and start painting with them. Awesome. Is it sitting under the Christmas tree?
Oh, that's awesome.
Sure is awesome. Love that. It is fun for us to like look at social media and see everyone's Christmas haul, you know, like all the pictures they post of getting the mega set or, you know, getting all the colors that they need to finish out their collection. Super fun.
You know, I never imagined I would be sitting around watching people get excited about something we've made
Yeah.
under their Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And for years now, it's like gives me such pleasure
Yeah.
to know that there are people that can't wait for Christmas because I'm getting my set.
Yeah.
It's so great.
If you follow us on Instagram, watch our stories tomorrow because we'll be reposting all those. It's super fun. Jade, your FLGS wants to carry Procurl. Awesome. Have them send us an email, support@monumenthobbies.com. We'll get them over to Philip's team and get them set up. Philip's got some good goals for 2025 for setting up more stores.
A little more
Captain
highlight to the
Manners,
face.
Hello, happy holidays to you.
Give a little bit more contrast to that pinch of the eye and cheek and nose area. I'm just using a color you can't buy. It's called color number 14. Color number 14 is literally, if you're doing dark flesh, this is the highlight. Like, it just works. It's just straight up over. I use black, brown, and shadow flesh, or black, brown, and advanced flesh tone to get the base skin tone. But then this is just the perfect highlight.
Hey, Jade, what's the store name? Put it in chat real quick for me, and I'll make sure that Philip sees it. Especially happy to learn Monument was based in Arizona. You're in Tucson. Awesome.
That's great.
Yep, we are just to
Right
the
up the
north
street.
of you. Central Phoenix. Colonel, you sound like us. That when you need something, you get it during the year. Don't wait for Christmas.
Yep.
That's what we do.
That's why ProCurl is priced the way it is and why we don't do a lot of sales, because we want you to be able to get it when you need it.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that stuff like paint needs to be good price all the dang time. Anybody got time to wait for titanium white?
Jade, I'm sending him a message right now.
I am cheating, yes. I am definitely 100% cheating. That's the fun of my job. See, I get to make cool new stuff and use it before you guys get your greasy little hands on it. I got to make sure it's all right for you, right? It's like I have to taste all the food to tell Jen whether or not it's safe to eat. Right? Especially the sweet stuff. I'm gonna put some brown wash on this document that she's holding. I can't imagine it being super clean. Use a lot of water on the brush for the brown on the front so that it isn't super dark, and then no water on the brush for the back so that it darkens the back up and gives me that shadow I'm looking for. Super easy. Dunzos.
Deadbeat, you don't do gifts anymore. You just get Chinese food for Christmas. That sounds delicious.
Like people bring it? Do they wrap it?
Soup.
Do you get like, because I used to get a wok every Christmas from the same uncle.
Really?
It's like, I've got 6 of these. You've given me one for the last 6 years. It was either the wok or the rice cooker.
He
must have bought like a pallet of them.
We're having soup.
Yes,
And it's
soup.
going to be delicious.
No soup for you. Except we will get soup.
Let's see. Chuck said, I haven't used mahogany on a whole lot of projects. My bottle is acting super transparent, like a contrast paint. Is that normal for this color?
No, you probably need to mix it better.
Yeah,
Got all the pigment as sediment in the bottle.
It might have settled in the bottom.
If it's sitting for a long time, get a toothpick, open the bottle up, stir it up. It is a more transparent paint than others, but it should not be like a contrast paint.
Ooh, Brazilian steakhouse. That sounds good too. Or dunch. Is that like a late lunch? I love that.
Dinner and lunch. What did I do right there? Did I get metallic paint on that? Rats.
Electric Uncle Trash. That's a good name. I'd take a walk for Christmas. Nothing is open when Hanukkah starts, and I'd make Chinese food at home instead. There you go. Food at like 3 p.m. Those are, like, that's a good time, especially for something like that.
love bright gold over rich gold. It's such a subtle shift that really only comes alive in the light, but boy, when the light hits it, do you get a big spot of brightness on that gold. Come along. For a particularly long scroll, would you wet blend or use the layer technique? And if it's layering, how are you separating the layers? I'm trying to paint a long purity scrolls on the Celestine. I do it the way you've seen me here. You see these horizontal lines that I do? I do my base coat, even on long purity screw, like the St. Celestine one and all of that. If they're any size at all, even the narrow ones, right? Just paint your base coat. I used dark umber on this. And then I did light umber, and I started with my second coat, with my first coat of light umber, I started doing horizontal lines, just really sketchy lines across, right? Then I use bone on this, I think. And then you just do more sketchy lines. So you get that text built in, right? It looks like there's already writing on there or that it's been rolled up, you know? And then you can go back and do the lettering however you want.
Dan Short, for sure that's a collector's item. That's awesome.
What's that?
Dan Short said, I found a full bottle of original bull titanium white with the green lid the other day going through some paints.
Holy cow.
Not even called bull titanium white. That was called special white.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We have a lot of people that will bring that to us at shows and stuff and be like, found my bottle.
Yeah.
Bring it, set it on the desk in front of me. We had one at LVO unopened, never opened, still the seal on it and everything. I was like, you got to be kidding. It was still good in the bottle, still shook up. It was awesome.
Yeah, as Nabal, like people are saying, it's explosive.
Yeah, it's shape
So
charge.
You hit it and it'll explode. So
Yeah,
it said, any tips on ratio of paint to gloss varnish if I want to make my Pro Acryl paint a little satin?
Like 1-to-1, drop to drop. Works really well. Great way to start.
The cat decided I'm done wrapping presents. Hooray.
Did it tear up the paper? You need mine resigned. The marker is... Oh, no.
Bring it to a show.
The SFG and the heart. Yeah, Mo, it means you got to leave the house and come to a show.
Derpstick asked for a Monument Hobbies gift card. Awesome.
Nice. Teeny Tiny, what's going on?
Hello. Merry Christmas. Oh, he just plopped down on the desk.
What's this leave the house thing you speak of? Well, there's always that. Plop down on the desk. Cat's like, mine.
I'm going to step out a couple minutes earlier than normal just so I can make sure that I have time to wish all of the crew Merry Christmas. I will be back shortly.
Sure. I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere. I don't ever get to leave. Dadgummit, I knew it. Knew I wasn't thin enough with that. There we go. Give a little shine on that. Hello, Christopher. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Oh my gosh.
It does.
We got some neat things in store for you, gang. Gonna be some neat new shots we're gonna get on the stream, so you can see more of the product as we use it and pick it.
Try.
Nice. It looks good.
Matt varnished it too.
Awesome.
Big stuff coming.
So says Chris.
Big stuff coming. Huge.
Huge. We're gonna make that a chip. That's a little chip. Why fight it? Battle damage all your mistakes. I meant that to be there. There's definitely a need for a little paint chip right there. So I'm going to just highlight the underside of that paint chip like that. There you go. That made that intentional. The light would also have it be highlighted on this side. So we'll do a little bit there too. There you go. Paint chip. Now it's intentional. Fix it. It's fixed. I don't gotta do anything. My toy. I play how I want. A little bit of secondary reflection right down this area. Basically, kind of like what if the haft of the hammer is reflecting a little bit on there. There you go. Fix it. I don't know if it needed it. It's needed, Jason. This is a one-time use weapon. With that attitude, it is. She has faith. She has faith. Is the new studio going to look like you are in Tron? Yes, totally. I'm actually going to wear the suit with the neon wrapped all around me, and we're going to have like retro music in the background and throw frisbees. I don't know how you knew that. Are you in here listening? Have you tapped our office phones? Chris doesn't have any time for any empty wallet stuff. He lives, breathes, and dies pro krill now. No mistakes, just happy battle damage. That is the case. Yes. Yes. It looks less like a condom. It's just a shape charge. Boots and cats and cats, boots, boots and cats and boots and cats. Boots, cats, boots, cats, boots, cats. Wave. Oh, we've tapped the office phone where Chris is. Oh, bastages. Bastages. All right. Looking pretty good. The wash is dry on here. We can finish that out with a little bit of bright warm gray. Actually, I'm not going to use bright warm gray. I'm going to go back to olive flesh on that one. Keep it yellower, like yellowed parchment-ish. Even, oh, you know what? We could do cat. No. Use olive flesh. I was going to say we use khaki. That's too yellow. Olive flesh is the answer here. Make sure my paint on the brush is only enough paint to do consistent thin lines. And then we'll go back. I've been going left to right for no reason at all, just because I'm left-handed, so that's probably why that's happening.
Jason, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Gabe.
See ya on Monday.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we'll be in a little bit, but yeah.
I'll see you Monday. I'll see you Monday.
No, that's not gonna.
Whoa.
They're yelling at me, chat. They're saying they'll see me Monday, but that's not how that works. I will be in the office. I gotta help mine Christopher because otherwise he has way too much power.
What if we petition for you not to come in?
Well, that's not a
Let's
power
leave
you
it up to a
have,
vote
Christopher.
chat. Leave it up for a vote with chat. If we get one thumbs up for
No,
Jason,
no.
He's out.
No.
One, two, three, and go.
No. It's not how that
Any
works.
thumbs ups?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, there's a thumbs up. Woo!
Merry Christmas, chat.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Bye.
This
Bye.
time
Have a
next-
wonderful holiday, gang. We'll see you back.
Big changes coming.
He's the man.
Big
If
changes.
they don't happen the way you like, blame Chris.
That's right. I will take 100% responsibility.
Chris is excited about it, so I'm excited too
excited.
because he's going to make great stuff happen.
I'm very excited. I think everybody is going to benefit from this in a very, very positive. It's just what we're doing, but more
Better.
better. It's the same thing, but better. All right,
Chris,
take it easy.
drive safe.
Yep. We'll
Have a wonderful time with the family.
Yes, I will.
It's always so funny because when we do parchment and stuff in our world of miniature, it has to be thick enough to not break. And so it really makes it more like a solid object, right? So it's always funky painting it like this because it would not be this thick. I wouldn't have like the ability to do cracks. It's like a big leather hide, but I'm all right with it. It works. It works. And the reason, like I said, I paint scrolls and things like this with the horizontal lines is because it looks like we have baked in type. So if you're not good at that detail, you don't want to do the lettering and all that, you could literally come in here and do like a red square here with an O in it or something to mark like the beginning of an old English paragraph. And the rest of this looks like the text, right? So you kind of have it baked in. Don't have to try ultra hard, go out of your way to create anything because most of it's already there, or at least feels like it's already there. Zazin, yeah, we'll paint some text. Colonel, what'd you ask? Adding bacon to the stream? Hopefully. I have not been able to know what's happening with the stream because Chris is in full control. That's a lie. He's actually told us what he's doing, but we've given him complete control. As dangerous as that sounds, Chris is in the driver's seat, so that's where it stands right now, chat. It's a Christmas sushi miracle. We'll hope so. We'll hope so. Chris is great. He's got some great ideas. We have been talking about it all along. You'll notice some big changes. For those of you here, we'll talk about a little bit of them. When you come back to stream, we'll be focused on single painter. So it will be either myself or Jordan painting, the other of us in the chair talking to you guys in chat. And then we'll have Jen along talking to chat too. And then Chris is going to be producing. So Chris will be the unseen producer running the mixer and all of the technical stuff so that we can get more recordings directly from the stream, so that when we catch all the things that you guys say, clip that, we need that, we'll be able to do it live and get better content for you, so that, you know, possibly even by the end of stream, you'll have short videos that you can watch that will capture some of the more detailed stuff that I go into on a daily basis. That's more searchable on the YouTube and readily available for you quickly, rather than having to go back through a 2-hour or 3-hour stream. So should be good. And yes, and so when something goes wrong, you always blame Chris. Yeah, yeah. Jen and I are no longer in the loop. It's all Christopher. Yeah, so it should be really, really cool. A POV cam strapped to my chin. Yes. Yes. Can you imagine, with as much as I do this and shift and do all this, how great and seasick you wouldn't be at the end of a painting stream? It reminds me of those dog videos I keep seeing, the one that I sent you. The we just do that to me all the time. Just have the face cam just come in and out. We're in danger.
Do you see this over here?
Chris is producing. What's that? What?
We're apparently the only live.
We are the only
stream
live
right now.
miniature
Everybody
painting
else
stream
is
right
not
now.
streaming.
That's crazy. Well, if you type in Warhammer, maybe somebody, or if you type in miniature painting, yeah, models and miniatures, there's probably some people we don't follow on there. Oh, but not very many. Wow. All right. Well, I have no idea what to tell you, folks.
There's
We're just
some
going to
money
find
in
somebody
hobbies.
crazy.
I mean, we make no promises of what you get when we raid.
Micah Igneous. We got to
I know
raid
these
somebody that we don't know. So don't hold this against us if you get in there and it isn't what you want.
Yeah.
Well, we love supporting small channels.
Yeah, so give them some love. Give them a follow when we get there. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Honestly, it's been a fantastic year. We have enjoyed every minute of it. The stream's been great. You guys have been great. The company keeps growing. We're glad to have you along on this crazy ride with Monument Hobbies. For those of you that are new around here, please hit that follow button. There's more in store for 2025. We're going into solid year 9 and into year 10. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely insane that we've been streaming for this long, and it's only going to get better. So love to see you on the flip side. Remember, this is our last show of the year. Thank you so much. Big shout outs to everybody that's been along for the ride and everybody that's new. If this is your first show or your 1 millionth show, we love you just the same. We'd love to see you hang out with us. Jen's putting all the links in chat so you can find a store via the FLGS link that sells Perocryl and all of our other wonderful hobby products, or buy direct from monumenthobbies.com. That link's in there too. As well as the Discord. What's that?
Yeah, no, I was just going to respond to Dead Nerve
Somebody likes
saying that, thanking us for the hobby therapy. We're here. This is what we do. We love doing it.
Dead, and we don't always
can't
know
see me, but
what's
I'm here.
going on with each other in chat. It's just the real world happens in a small little cocoon here in stream, and we're just thankful to be able to share it with all of you. So we hope for everybody that's having a wonderful holiday, you continue to do so. For those of you that are struggling a little bit, we hope you get a brighter side.
Yep.
We're glad to have been a part of it to help shine some light on everything for you.
And we're here for you in 2025 too.
Silly little battle Barbies can take the edge off no matter what. So thanks for joining us. Stick around. We are going to raid into a new person we do not know.
Yeah.
So show some love in the channel. Drop some follows. Stick around. See if they have some good content. Give them some positive reinforcement. And we will catch you in 2025.
Crazy.
Oh, it's insane.
Crazy.
Everybody have a wonderful, safe holiday
safe.
and New Year. We'll
Have
see you back on
fun.
January 3rd.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.